Hello and welcome to today's live stream. A lot of people are asking about the setup when it comes to using a teleprompter and actually having a mini monitor inside the teleprompter so that you can actually see the people you're talking to, particularly on one-to-ones or small groups. You can see them in your teleprompter and you're making eye contact. So a lot of the time when I'm in meetings or people are saying, how are you maintaining eye contact? And the secret is, well, it's no secret. I actually have a mini monitor inside the teleprompter. And the mini monitor, which I'll show you the setup in a minute, is actually a replica of the bigger monitor. So if I go behind the scenes, as always, you can see I have a main monitor here. I use 3. I highly recommend that you use at least 2 monitors. And if I get my trusty pointer. So essentially what we have, and then we look at the diagram version of it, but we have a main monitor here. And above that, then we have the mini monitor inside the teleprompter. So this is the mini monitor here, and it's a replica of the one below. In other words, it's a carbon copy, an exact replica, a duplicate, whatever you want to call it, of the one below. So if I go back to the main screen here, whatever is on the main screen is also on the mini screen. So whatever is on the main monitor is also on the mini monitor. Okay, so that is the actual physical setup. If we go behind the screen, then we'll just see, here I am. So we have the camera inside the glide gear teleprompter. So you can see the LED screen of the camera. And we'll talk about cameras again. It's sitting inside the physical teleprompter, which is essentially a see-through mirror. It's got the curtain there to keep light out, and then I can see the text on the screen when I'm in meetings, etc. So that is essentially how it is set up. So if I go into this camera here and I take it off its holder, you can actually see that whatever's on the main monitor below, if I come back out, it's going to go into a bit of a loop. Whatever's on the main monitor is replicated on the mini monitor, essentially inside the teleprompter. So you can see the lens of the camera through the mirror. That's how teleprompters work. So if I switch over and put on a script here within the teleprompter, okay. So if I just move this over here, here is the script and I hit start. And I usually put in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, so on. I'll try and make this pretty steady. So whatever's on the main monitor is also on the mini monitor. So I can keep an eye on the camera and read the script. So as you can see, it says, welcome, in this lesson, you will learn how to make recordings and so on. So this is a script from a lesson from a course called Sound Success. And Sound Success is all about showing people how to create an audio-only course. So I can pop in, if I see a mistake, I can pop in, click edit the script very easily with my computer, hit save the changes and start the presentation again. Or I can go down to where I finished. It'll scroll automatically, as you can see, at a nice speed. You can adjust the speed, and a great piece of software. We've covered it before. You'll see it in previous videos, how to use the teleprompter, but also to use it for not only your lessons, but for meetings. Today, we're going a little bit further to show you the actual hardware setup. Okay, so let's switch over to the slides here. So basically what we're going to be looking at is the setup here on from a diagram point of view, just to kind of map it out, how it works. Okay, so essentially you have your computer. Okay, you need your computer, it can be your laptop, your MacBook Pro, whatever it might be. This particular setup works with whatever computer that you have. So you have your computer, and then typically you would have a HDMI cable going into a monitor. Okay, that's typically the setup. And maybe if you have 2 monitors, then you have two HDMI cables going into two monitors. Okay, the additional piece for this particular setup is what we call a HDMI splitter. A little box, about 30, 40 euro or dollars. Ideally, you need to get a powered HDMI splitter. Do not get one doesn't have its own power supply. So if you look at the link at the bottom there, johnnyburn.com/studio-sheet. If you go to that address, you will be able to get a full list of all the equipment that I use for free. Just pop in your name and email. We need your email to follow up with you and to send out the actual equipment list. So we have a HDMI cable, and then we have the HDMI splitter. And essentially all that happens then is you have an HDMI cable going to your mini monitor, and then a HDMI cable going to your main monitor. So it's pretty simple when you actually see it in a diagram, and pretty simple physically to set up as well. The additional piece is the HDMI splitter that is going to allow you to connect two monitors from the one HDMI port. Okay. And then you have a duplicate of the main monitor right here where I'm using Restream to stream this live. And I have the mini monitor right here sitting inside the teleprompter. Again, if we go to the back camera, there's the teleprompter, the camera sitting inside, a cable going to the computer so that I can record and stream and everything else. There's a remote control there for turning off the monitor and so on. So if we go to the front side, main monitor, and if we zoom in here with the over-the-shoulder camera, so to speak, you can see the shotgun microphone, the Elgato key light we talked about yesterday, the mini monitor inside the teleprompter. So as I say, when I'm on a meeting, I can look directly into the eyes of my meeting attendee, a potential client, an existing client, and maintain that ever important direct eye contact while looking at the camera and looking at them at the same time. Okay, so a relatively simple setup, to be honest, not very expensive at all. You're looking at 175 for the teleprompter, but the time that it saves when you're making courses is significant, like really, really good. You really are, transforming how you're going to show up on camera and show up in your meetings as well. Okay. You really are going to impress your clients when you're making direct contact all the time. Okay. So whether it's for meetings or whether it's for making courses or for both, the confidence camera, as it's called, the confidence monitor, I should say, is a really, really useful piece. So again, just to simply go through it step by step, we have the computer itself, whatever you are using. You're typically going to have a HDMI cable or a cable to connect to a monitor. All you're doing is going to route that through the HDMI splitter. Then you're going to put that into the mini monitor, and then you're going to use the other output of the splitter to go into the main monitor. And you are good to go. You are going to be able to, as I say, edit your scripts for your teleprompter very quickly. You're going to be able to look your potential or existing client or a small group of people on Zoom, look them in the eye, maintain that very important engagement and engaging eye contact, and still be able to see them. So you're looking at the camera through the teleprompter, and you really are going to, be quite professional in maintaining that eye contact. Okay, so that is the behind the scenes and behind the screens for today. The mini monitor split into the main monitor for your teleprompter. Okay. And as always, if you have any questions, comments, or feedback, or if you're using something similar, I'd love to know. Please pop it in, or your feedback or questions into the comment section wherever you're watching these streams, and I will personally reply. Have a great day.